possible as well. It's like you're not a trained teacher, and neither is Paula. So it is a matter of you do what you can. But I think this is one of the things where I do see the finger of God in this, of going, you've got the basic idea of a society, but you're still hanging on to the old ways of doing things, and there are better ways of organizing this so that the children are being reared rather than raised, and you need the parents to rear children. You raise cattle, you rear children. And it sounds like, okay, it's going to take, it took this crisis, and it took a crisis of this immensity, and however open-ended it is, however long it's going to go on for, to say, you've actually got a number of solutions to your problems, but you're not solving them because you're still stuck on this everybody going to an office thing. And where are we going to get daycare from? And it's, no, if you just organize it differently, you'll find out that you've got a lot more capacity than you think that you do, and a lot more ability than you think that you do. As a parent, the way we've been doing it is you get talked into just having your children indoctrinated by the public school. You go to the public schools and they'll indoctrinate you in politically correct thinking, and that's really all you're going to learn. As a parent, you'll have a much bigger stake in this than any teacher or any public school system or any daycare. Have you taught? What's your experience with teaching the girls?
When Janice was about Natasha's age, before bed, it would be, okay, I'm going to, you get to pick out 3 books, I'll read 3 books. And she, of course, being a kid, was trying to pick the longest books, or the book she liked the most.
Right.
She's got a board book, it's only like a 8-9 page book of Dora the Explorer that's only got like 5 to 6 words on a page.
Right.
Very, very, very simple, very small child book. And she had 2 of them. And they came into the house and, okay, we'll read these books because they're short and Dad can get, you want 3 books, this is one of them, and it's only going to take me 3 minutes to read it, so you're getting in bed sooner. And that book got taken out of the rotation because every time I would read it like Mel Blanc doing a bad Mexican accent.
Right.
Very Speedy Gonzales. Hola, I am Dora. And after about the 8th time I did it, it was, Dad, I don't want to hear this anymore. But then it was a lot of Dr. Seuss, and it wasn't something I knew before I started reading her The Cat in the Hat, but I found out The Cat in the Hat, the story behind how Dr. Seuss wrote it was, the publisher said, we want a new version of Dick and Jane. Lots of repetition, the same words getting used over and over again. Here's a list of 400 words, write a book just using these 400 words.
Right.
And he wrote The Cat in the Hat and gave it back, and The Cat in the Hat only has 200 different words in it. Like, he took the list of 400 and cut it in half. And that's one of the reasons, the beginning of the Easy Reader books, which is what that series of books is, was The Cat in the Hat of, you're trying to teach someone to read, here's a book where they're going to say the word cat 400 times. So once they recognize cat, every time it comes up, it's, oh yeah, cat, 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 cat. Same with hat, same with fish. Fish is another, I think for word count, I think fish is up there near the top. And it was just reading to the kid, reading to Janice. And she got into school and they did a reading assessment and she was supposed to know, she's supposed to have like 5 or 6 sight words within the first couple weeks, and she had 10 or 15. This year she's in 3rd grade. I took her in for a reading assessment, and the teacher gives her, can you read this? Can you read this? Do you understand, kind of gauging her reading level. And at the beginning of 3rd grade, she had a middle of 4th grade reading level.
Right.
The biggest problem that they have with her in school is they've run out of books at her grade level for her to read that have appropriate content for her age.
Right. Which is not a bad problem.
This is me going, because when I was in 5th or 6th grade, my reading teacher had my conference with my mom and said, "Matt's illiterate." And my mom's jaw hit the floor and she went, "What?" And oh yeah, he can't read. Every time we call on him in class, he has no idea what's going on. He struggles in the book to find where we are. He's illiterate. My mom's like, all he does is read. All I say to him is, put down the book and take out the garbage. Put down the book and do this. It's time to eat dinner. Stop reading. What do you mean he's illiterate? Well, it turns out we're reading in class and I'm 17 pages ahead because everyone's plodding along and I'm just reading.
Right.
So when they go, "Matt, it's your turn," I have my finger in the book where we were. Well, now we're 3 pages ahead, so I have to find the page. And I know Janice is going to have the same problem because my aunt told me my cousin had the same problem. I'm just from a family of readers.
Right. And particularly in a time period where reading has fallen so far out of fashion. I forget the statistics on the number of people who reading is an ordeal. It's not something that they would do. Like, do you read for pleasure? Do you read things for comprehension? And it's no, they don't, and they actually haven't. Reading is something that you do in school, and as soon as you're out of school, you never have to read again.
Well, one of my favorite things that I used to do at work is on break, I'm on my phone, playing around on Facebook or reading emails, doing whatever, and I'd see something funny, and I would show it to somebody, and there's a guy I would sit next to, I'd show it to him, and I could gauge that he's pretty similar in his reading level with me, because in the time that I'm reading it over his shoulder, he's reading it. And there's a woman that comes in the break room, and I'll show it to her, and it's about a 30-second delay of, okay, I know I'm done reading, but I can still see her eyes moving. And I'm like, she's not that big a reader.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was 12, I think, I went out to visit my dad, and his girlfriend's 2 sons came to visit, and so the 3 of us were there, and my dad instituted, 1 o'clock, you have to read for an hour. And my dad's got a bunch of books, so okay, I found he's got a Twilight Zone book. It's 23 stories that were the basis for 23 episodes of the original Twilight Zone. So I picked that, and I'm reading that, because, it's short stories. And one of the other kids, I forget what he picked, and the third one was just whining about, why do we have to read? And meanwhile, I'm just breezing through this book, and my dad's, yelling at me, the hour's up, you got to put it down now. It's, but for the 2 of them, it was, well, why are we being punished? And I'm like, we get to sit inside in air conditioning in California in the middle of July and read? Sign me up, Dad. Sign me up.
Really? Is this a trick question?
I mean, that'd be like somebody coming to you when you were 17 going, hey, do you want to sit around and draw comics all day?
Really? Really? And at that time, no, I didn't. I wanted to do a cartoon for Playboy and then sit around reading comic books and whacking off to pornography and stuff like that. That was my idea of the way to live. That's why I wanted to be a cartoonist. They pay $1,000 for a color cartoon in Playboy. All I got to do is crack that market, and I'll never have to actually work again. And it's that was it took meeting Gene Day and seeing Gene Day's productivity to go, oh, this is how you do it. It's actual work and non-stop work, always working. And hey, this is actually pretty cool. Actually, this is really cool. If just doing this is the best idea. And then, unfortunately, that turned into, if I get really productive at this and I'm able to make a lot of money at it, maybe I can get laid. And if I can get laid, maybe I can get laid by different chicks. And it's like, no. That sort of stuff is for people that can't draw comics. You'll be much happier drawing comic books. It was funny talking to Kevin Eastman and on the phone a while back, and the surprise that was for him. Once he was all done with the Turtles stuff, no longer owned the Turtles, was no longer chief executive officer of Mirage Studios, but was just writing and drawing comics, going, this is what I was missing all along. I had no idea how much I was missing this, but this is who I am. I'm a guy who writes and draws